Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome back to another episode of the FIA series on Gran Turismo Sport. Now this race is a fairly interesting one because it takes place on an oval, and by an oval I actually mean a triangle or a hash brown, depending on how you look at the track. So things are going to get shaken up here a little bit because it's not normal that we race on an oval. So many of us are track racers, so coming to an oval is like going to a foreign country and you're basically lost and don't understand the language. So we're going to try to adjust the best we can. This is my first lap in qualifying, and we're going to come round back onto the main straight here. So come and set our first lap time. So as it's quite a short circuit and an oval, I actually settle into 6th place. As it's quite a short circuit, the lap time is going to be very close, so even half a tenth can be the difference between a few positions. So with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, go into the pit lane and get some fresh tyres and set off on my way. Now, the important thing in any oval race is drafting. So I came out of the pits there really on my own, so I had to kind of wait for everyone and slot in behind, because in the draft's obviously very important in this game. It's very powerful. You get sucked along very hard if you get the distance right, as I am here, and that's crucial. As I said, even half a tenth can matter, and you can gain tenths from doing this. So you do need to get into the draft if you want to have a good lap time in, let's say, in a higher quality lobby. Not that this is actually a higher quality lobby. In fact, the first place is only going to get 1,000 points from this race, but still, you still need to do this, get into the draft, and you'll get a couple of attempts taken off your lap time as a result. So you can see there, purple sector in the first sector, and then blue in the second. Final turn then, coming around, we should go a few temps better, down to 13th at this point here, just a couple of temps off, 4 temps off, crossing the line to go just about 1.5 temps away, so in 5th, which is where we are here at the start of the race. Now, my main objectives really for this is to not lose the draft and to not get damage. But look at this before the race starts. These planes are going to come and crash into each other. Oh my god, they've gone through each other in mid-air, but actually gone through each other. Someone needs to get onto air traffic control because someone is not doing their job properly, allowing the jet fighters to fly straight through the path of the planes coming into land. So something's gone massively wrong there. Someone's taken a nap when they're supposed to be telling aircraft where they can and can't be. Let's see if the track is going to be any better than the air. If the air is any evidence to go by, then the race itself might be a load of crashing as well. Let's see how it goes though. Lap 1, as I say, try not to break the draft, so you want to stay in the slipstream of the cars ahead. As soon as you lose that draft, it can be very hard to catch back up. And 2, don't get damage. So of course in these new FIA seasons you have damage. Even if you get front bumper damage or rear bumper damage, it's going to cost you down the straights, and that's really crucial here. So you can be losing a couple of temps per lap, and again, that's not going to help you keep in the slipstream range, which is about half a second or so. So you see it's okay at the moment. So even though I was off in qualifying, that doesn't really make too much difference in the race, and it doesn't really matter that I'm not on pole because it's a 20 lap race. You're all going to be so close. You might have watched my closest race ever, or closest finish ever. If you haven't, watch that video because I was on an oval race. It was on this track but the other way round, and it was absolutely mental right through to the last millimetre of the track. And let's hope that this race can go the same way. So down the main straight here, so we've formed in sort of 2 groups. I'm on the right hand side here, going to move across following the slipstream, and the other guy on the left is going to move across as well. We kind of meet in the middle. The leader has damage, and now I've got damage, getting a nice big hit in the rear end, and it's all going to kick off here as the leader then also gets pushed on. I think he's probably going to have rear bumper damage from that, so that is very frustrating. It's only taken until lap 3, and well, my plans have just gone down the drain, out of the window already. So I've got the damage. That's going to cost me. I can still stay in this race if I just stick into the slipstream range. Coming out of the final turn, and it's all going to get Very, very aggressive indeed. Massive disagreement. I'm going to slide around, do like a 900 spin. Because I couldn't quite get the power down. Well, I got it down too much with the tyres sort of overheating. So I've got full body damage. I'm going to have to go in and repair that, which really sets me back in this race. It's just suboptimal, shall we say. That's a really positive way of thinking about it. The realistic thing here is that I've just completely messed this race up. There's no chance of winning anymore unless everyone else crashes. I suppose that could happen. So I've fought my way back through the pack a little bit, up to 12th here. Going into the first turn, this KFC machine, the Colonel's going to come through, just kind of grind me against the wall. And he actually gets a penalty as a result. And this is the thing here, you need to work as a team if you're going to have any success. Because for a couple of laps here, we were going past each other and then just going into each corner, we were side by side and just slowing each other down for the corner. So I thought, okay then I'm going to have to take the lead here, or take second place, take charge of the situation, just keep bump drafting this guy, keep pushing him along, and we'll gain time slowly on the guys ahead. He obviously didn't understand this very well, he didn't take kindly to it, because he slowed down to kind of try and push me off, and he only succeeded in pushing himself off. I got a penalty for it, of course, and at the end of the race, my tyres are absolutely shot by this point. I'm in 12th, yellow flag, someone loses position there, and then I lose a position to the Aston Martin, so go back down to 12th, and the Lamborghini on the line almost gets me. It's like 0.006. So in the end, not 6th, but 2 times 6th, and we move on to try to make the end of the video good. So it's always nice to end on a high note, and unfortunately I've chosen an anime livery, so quite what I'm doing I don't know. I've seen quite a few anime liveries and I thought maybe there's something to them, maybe they're faster, they give you 100 horsepower or something, so I thought I'd give them a try. I'm not a fan of anime, but let's see if anime can power me to victory. So this is Daily Race B. So after the disappointment of FIA Race I just did, we want to finish on a high note. But, so we're going to get lunged into the hairpin, down into 3rd. Obviously this guy not a fan of anime, trying to punt me out of the way. So I'm down into 3rd position, still work to do from here. 5 laps, so it's Kyoto, reverse circuit. Coming through the chicane, this is probably the most difficult part of the track for me anyway. Very easy to get wrong. In the Beetle here, drifting wide, just about recovering, going across the track. This guy has to take evasive action, he'd get us through though. So not an ideal start. I was 2nd, down to 4th already. And plenty of work to do from here if we want to salvage a decent result. So it's always nice to finish on a high note, to turn the console off when you've had a win or a good race, so you can kind of go to bed happy in the knowledge that you're an amazing player on the game rather than crashing off and dying and getting penalties. So there is that contrast of emotion when you turn your console off. Sometimes you turn it off when you had a bad race and it kind of, you dwell on it, and then you lose sleep, and then your life falls apart, and then your girlfriend leaves you, your mortgage fails, and you die a lonely, miserable death at 38. Sometimes that might happen, I don't know. I might have exaggerated that though. Let's see if it happens here though. I'm in 4th. The top 2 are battling still, so it's the Brit in 2nd. I think he's gonna for that lunge. No, he's not. The German going defensive. He's kind of aware that Brit is very aggressive on his overtake, so they're going defensive. Although he gets a poor run on the way out, and the Brit does slot in ahead. So my fellow Brit up into the lead. We've got 2 Germans here, 2nd and 3rd, and the guy in 2nd making a bit of an error through the exit of the chicane. So up the hill, Ace Yoda is going to go to the inside line here, and the anime machine looks on as we try to get a cutback. So Nervous Buddha has gone from 1st to 4th in a couple of corners, not ideal for him. Over the crest, I'm hoping he's going to back out, and he does. Sensible decision. Into the S's, 1 line only really through here. You have to go single file in 99% of cases. If you don't, you're probably going to end up killing each other. Into the final turn, Ace Yoda going defensive on the way in. I'm just going to try to undercut him on the way out, and I just make contact with him. It was the tiniest of hits where he just went flying off, and I get a 3-second penalty. So, I mean, it was a deserved penalty. But can you imagine in real life if you murder someone? Okay, just go to jail for 3 seconds, you'll be fine. So I've pretty much killed someone. So have to serve 3 seconds. I'm just driving really badly at the moment here. The Beetle, my excuse is the Beetle's quite hard to drive, and I'm not that great at it. I'll go for a savage lunge here, setting a purple sector in the first split actually, and then the leader's going to bin himself off the curb on the exit off the hairpin. He did so well to get from from third to first, albeit with some contact, but he still did well. And then he just goes and throws it all away. But then I'm also going to do the same thing here by just throwing it away on the curb. So, car getting sketchy on me on the way out, and well, just sad face basically. Up the hill, car struggling to accelerate, and I go down to 10th. So I could be winning this, but I'm down in 10th or 9th now. Final corner coming up. The Spaniard, not going to go defensive, but it goes a little bit wide. I'm going to sling it up the inside. The anime machine is coming through, and I'm going to slot in 8th just about. Look at that, look how close it was. So just got ahead, and up to the line we go. We're going to finish 8th. Disappointing anime wagon there, look at it. So the first thing I had to do, change the livery to something very respectable, much more respectable. So we've gone for this sort of a standard Volkswagen livery. So looking very nice indeed. So hopefully a race livery can power us to victory. So I've got the rub of the green with the grids. SS driver on pole, half a second up on the guy in second. First corner, no drama. Going to drive really within myself and take it nice and easy. At the end of lap 1, the gap over 1.5 seconds, so things going okay. So a bit further round. This is the chicane. It's going through here. I don't really take an ideal line, but I do have a decent margin. Looking behind, and well, McSpongy doing a Super GT and binning himself on that curb. So my main competition has just eliminated themselves. My main competition here was myself and the clock, the stopwatch. So you see a purple sector. I'm trying to set a 33 lap time. I went faster every lap, so trying to get that ultimate lap time, and I just make a mistake and grinding across the wall. We should be able to recover this though. We're 11 seconds ahead, but no, I'm going to tap an invisible, I don't even know what that was, something just pinned me against the wall and I crashed into it and get a 5-second penalty. Sad times indeed. And I actually get overtaken. I go down to second, so I've absolutely bottled it. And I tried to get a bigger penalty just to test it out, and yeah, 100 billion year penalty. Finishing second, but seriously, why is he cheering? Stop it. You threw that away. Stupid race. Stupid idiot. So, I have to do it again. We're going to have to end on that high note. I'm not ending this without a good race. So all the good players just turned up again. All the fast guys from the previous race, which made things a little bit harder. That race I just did, that's the one I should have won. Even if the quality of the driver wasn't as high, it's the one I should have won. I just said, yeah, okay, look, I won a race. I can turn the console off now. But we're going to have to go again. So I'm second here, so I'm not the fastest. This guy a couple of attempts faster in qualifying. Let's see then. Can the green, nice livery here power me to victory instead of the stupid anime wagon? I regret, actually taking that livery. Really shouldn't have done that. I'm actually quite ashamed of myself. So through here, the Croat in the lead. Is that how you say it? He actually goes a little bit deep, but manages to get a good run out, keep his position. I was just a bit wary of the guy behind because he was the guy who went for that lunge in the first Beetle race and did get through. So I was just a bit wary, but he was a bit too far back, and he does like to make a mistake as he did in that previous race. And just sliding wide, almost doing a Super GT / McSpongy, but not quite losing full control. But he does go down to 5th, I think, at the moment. So just trying to keep on terms with the Croatian guy in the lead, Radical Velox, as we come down the hill into the S's. So this is a lot more of a challenge coming from this direction. You do have to lift off at some point. It's very difficult, you see there. I almost make the same mistake I did on the previous race, but luckily this time just about keep it under control. Do get to penalty though, 0.5, but that's not too bad. we can deal with that. That will only really cost us about 0.3 seconds if I serve it just before the finish line. So it's not really game over at this point. We continue into turn 1. The leader's actually broken the gap. Look at that, 1.5 seconds. So he had a really good second half to that lap. I kind of matched him for the first half, and really not at all for the second. And we have Ace Yoda. So Ace Yoda was in that first Beetle race, and he did go through, and then I killed him. So is he going to be seeking revenge in this race, or is all forgiven? We don't know. I did say sorry. Not that that really fixes anything, but let's see if let's see how this one pans out, because we have an interesting dynamic. The leader is pulling away. I do have a penalty, and we do have some fairly quick drivers hot on our heels, so things can go either way. Coming up the hill, purple sector, which is good to see, and I always do like to have the psychological benefit of having the fastest lap, because if I cross the line at the end of this lap here with the fastest lap, it just sends a message to the guy in the lead. Okay, the guy behind you is the fastest person on the track, and it just gives you that little bit of an edge. You know, a really top driver won't be affected by that, or they might not even look. But someone else, they might look at it and think, oh, okay, the guy behind me is very quick, and they might just transfer some pressure to them. So around the final turn, and I think I have done a very good second split, second half to the lap. And crossing the line, I do actually go fastest, 1:33.8. Let's see if anyone behind does manage to beat that. I don't think so at this point here. So I'm actually the fastest person on the track at the moment. So hopefully that sends a message to this guy in the lead that he's being hunted by Super GT with the force of over 100,000 subscribers. He actually made a big mistake there. Watch that gap come down. It was about 1.2 at the beginning of the lap, now down to 0.8. I've just gained 4 tenths. So on the exit of the hairpin, things are getting a bit better for me. There's a transition in the race quite clearly, because it looks as though on that first lap he gapped me by 1.5 seconds. I thought, okay, game over, he's going to win. But you know, just get your head down, set some good laps, and you just never know what's going to happen. The gap down to 0.5, 0.3 up on my best lap. So setting another purple split here, so we could do a mid 33. And that would really sort of hammer home the point that I'm the quicker guy here. So coming over the crest, again into the S's, still 3 tenths up on purple on our purple lap. Could go even better here. We've definitely caught up on this lap. The gap now less than half a second, and it was about 1.2 at the beginning. So I've gained nearly a second on this lap alone. So within slipstream range, which is quite crucial as well. You're going to get pulled along. Gives you a couple of tenths per lap. So across the line, let's see what this lap is. 33.5, and again 3 tenths up on our previous lap. So again, sends another message to him. I'm definitely within range. I'm sure he's going to be noticing that. So he does seem to be driving a little bit more ragged now. Lap 1 he seemed to be very, very clean and smooth, and lap 2 and 3 a little bit more ragged, making mistakes. He can still have the opportunity though to break the gap, break the toe. So again, you can have another transition in the race. So the transition's clearly been towards me in the middle of the race. He could still just deliver an amazing lap now, and then that would really set him apart. And then the pressure would be back onto me to try to outdo him and do another great lap. But coming through here, he's taken a bad line, another mistake, and I should be within slipstream range here. I've got to run. I've got the momentum. I'm going to pull out to the right hand side, over the crest, through the left kink. I've got the inside line now, into the long right at the top of the hill, and I'm up into the lead of the race. So he did look as though he had some really good corners at the beginning of this lap, but then just making that crucial mistake through the chicane, went in a little bit too hot, made an error there, and that cost him on the way out of the turn. And I managed to get some crucial momentum and slot in ahead into the lead of the race with 1 lap left to go. So as I said, I've got a 0.5 second penalty. I need to have about half a second gap, and then I could just get rid of it and still win. But looking behind, the gap's 0.6. He's got himself a penalty, 0.5. So we're matched now. So essentially, it's a race for position because we've got exactly the same penalty, and the gap is already 0.5. So normally, when you overtake someone very quick, they're going to hover at like 0.2, 0.3 seconds behind you. already just gapped him a tiny bit. I think he did make a mistake, and obviously he got a penalty, so I didn't quite see what that was or how he got it, but it was through the final turn, or possibly where I got my penalty, just on the last bit of the S's going across the grass. I didn't quite catch it, but it was definitely for that last sector. So now the gap up to 1.2, 1.3. So he's made another mistake. He's got another penalty. So this race has really shifted in my favour. So at the beginning I was really quite demoralised at the end of lap 1 because he gapped me by 1.2, and I thought, Jesus Christ, there's no way I can keep up with this guy. He's just going to race off into victory. But then I just got a head down and we've raced really well. 3 laps in a row in the 33s. So 33 lap time I think is a good lap for race pace around here. So I'm quite happy with that. And over the crest, so I have a second gap. I need to be a lot more careful here. So in the last race I was definitely guilty of pushing too much when I didn't need to get an unnecessary lap time, because I easily had the fastest lap in the previous race. So I didn't need to push. So just learning that lesson here, just don't push, you don't need to, just keep the gap, be safe. And coming round to complete the race, we've won it. You see the lap times there on the right hand side. We're going to come through to end, and we can finally end the video on a positive note. There we go. So a great win there, probably the hardest race of the 3, but coming through to win it. So it just shows you what you can do when you have a good paint job and you just race clinically and well. But ultimately, a great end to the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always guys, let me know your thoughts, and I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.